Good morning, students. Today, let us discuss about IMNCI, Integrated Management of Neonatal and Childhood Illness. I'm sure that you have studied already about IMNCI in your BSc third year under your child health nursing topic. Still, let us discuss this because it is one of the new national health programs. So let us discuss about IMNCI. So from the name itself, it is very clear that this program, it is aiming at the integrated management. So it is regarding the management of various childhood illness as well as the neonatal illness. So actually when it has been started, many of the countries they have not implemented the neonatal component. So it was simply as IMCI, Integrated Management of Childhood Illness. But we can really proudly tell that by adopting the various guidelines or by the recommendation of very big team members of our health, we India have the version of IMNCA, that is Integrated Management of Neonatal and Childhood Illness. So the various members or the various representatives who have really worked behind this IMNCA, that means in order to bring up this as a strategy, it was one is IAP, that is Indian Academy of Pediatrics, then NNF, National Neonatology Forum of India, then National Anti-Malaria Program, then Department of Women and Child Development, then Child in Need Institute, then World Health Organization and United Nations International Child Emergency Funding. And all these eminent pediatricians and neonatologists, they all really told or they all really recommended to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of our particular country, and they have on their recommendation we have adopted an Indian version of IMCI, that is Integrated Management of Childhood Illness. So India has created the version as IMNCI, Integrated Management of Neonatal and Childhood Illness. So here it is very clear that not only the childhood, which is like childhood diseases, those who, we are not only focusing upon the under 5, especially neonatal problems also, newborn problems also we are trying to manage here. So let us the components of this strategy are strengthening the skill of the healthcare workers, because here in this program, throughout the program, when you read it, yeah, it is all given in K-Park textbook. You all can follow this along with the K-Park textbook. It is very clearly and in much detailed form it is given in K-Park. So after you read this, you will be able to understand that here really what they have done is they really group the various disorders under some strategies, or by giving the importance or by giving the strategy of management, they have really divided the disease conditions as per the severity. So here what they have really done is they have strengthened the skills of the healthcare workers. So the skill of the healthcare workers should be improved so that they should be able to manage it at the right time, so that they can be classified under proper division as per the priority. So which is really harmful for the which is a danger for the child, it should be categorized as the number one, and the small things which can be able to treat at the home level, it should be categorized to the lower level. So such type of skill development among the healthcare workers should be strengthened. Second is strengthening the healthcare infrastructure. As we all know, healthcare infrastructure strengthening is one of the main part of even national health mission also, because if we strengthen our present system of sub-center better PHC, CHC, then only we can really improve our health services and even the health outcome also. So as we all know, they are struggling to make all the PHCs as the first referral unit, FRU. I hope you all remember these words. We have already studied this. So PHC should be made as the first referral unit. Then only we can really tell that the strengthening has been done in the infrastructure level. Then involvement of the community. As not only in IMNCA, in all the programs, the community participation or the involvement of the community is one of the real backbone of the success of that particular program. How much it has been implemented among the people, that is much more important than the highlights of regarding the activities provided by the program. So even though if provides around 20 or 30 activities, if the people are not participating, then what is the use? So community participation, making people aware regarding the importance of management of the childhood illness, so that is much more important. So when we look all through the major reason for developing the IMCI strategy stemmed from the needs of curative care, the strategy also addresses the aspect of nutrition, immunization, and other important elements of disease prevention and health promotion. So when we discuss, you don't think that this IMNCA, they only focus on disease condition. No. In order to prevent many of the disease condition, we have to focus on the aspects of care like nutrition, on immunization, and various health promotion and disease preventive activities. So these all are a part of IMNCA also. The objectives of the strategy are to reduce the death rate and the frequency and severity of illness and disabilities. That means especially the mortality and the morbidity reduction is the main strategy, and to contribute to improved growth and development. Because as we all know, the growth and development happens in a person only mainly in the childhood period. So childhood period is that much important for the growth and development aspect. So all the life-threatening diseases should be managed properly at the right time during the childhood period. This strategy has been adopted for India as integrated management of neonatal and childhood illness, as we have already discussed. So IMNCI clinical guidelines, they target the children less than 5 years of age, the age group that bears the highest burden of death rate, especially for common childhood diseases. So less than 5 years, they have low immunity power. So moreover, no low immunity power, moreover they are a very vulnerable group because they have the chance to get much more infections. At the same time, they are having at the peak of their growth and developmental stage. So that much of importance should be given for children, because today's children are tomorrow's citizen. So if we take care of our children in as a country aspect very clearly, then only we will have a healthy citizen, a earning group in the coming years. Then only we country can attain health for all, and the country can really be a developed country. So it is all a chain aspect. അല്ലേ, ഇതെല്ലാം പരസ്പരം ഇൻ്റർ റിലേറ്റഡ് ആണ്, കണക്റ്റഡ് ആണ് അല്ലേ. അതുകൊണ്ട് കുട്ടികളിലെ ഗ്രോത്ത് ആൻഡ് ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് അവരുടെ എന്തെങ്കിലുമുള്ള ഡിസീസ് പ്രോബ്ലംസ് എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഡ്യൂറിങ് ദ ചൈൽഡ്ഹുഡ്, ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് ബി മാനേജ് പ്രോപ്പർലി. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ മെയിൻ ആസ്പെക്ട് ഓഫ് ഇൻ്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് neonatal and childhood illness. Even for neonate, if they have any issues, it should be find out as soon as possible, soon after the birth. It should be early identification is much more important for the treatment aspect. The guidelines taken are evidence-based practice and the syndromic approach to case management. As I have told, they have divided various cases as per the syndrome. They have divided it into syndrome management, and in the further explanation we are going to see which are the divisions or subdivisions or the syndromic approaches we are going to see. So what they have done is they have listed down some of the neonatal and childhood problems, and they have classified it into various ranges as per the priority. As per the syndrome, they have made syndromic approach in the case management of each of this, like whether it should be treated under emergency basis, or whether they have to be hospitalized, or whether it can be given health education towards the caretaker and it can be managed in the home level. All this aspect has been divided on the basis of evidence based. What do you mean by evidence based practice? EBP, I'm very sure you all have learned this even in research in BSc third year and in various other subjects also. What is evidence-based practice? It is actually the practice which really we make in our daily routine of health care on various evidence, that means on the basis of research findings. So there are various research findings which tells that if we do this management, it will be more good. If we do this type of combination of medicine, it can be really tackled. So all these things changes day by day. It is all because of the evidence based practice as per the result of various research reports. We really try to improve our healthcare sector. So even IMNCA also, they really work on the aspect of evidence based practice and syndromic approach case management. So here we can see that the situations where laboratory support, in the situations of where laboratory support and clinical resources are limited, it can really help by the syndromic approach. So sometimes we all know the health infrastructure of our country. So there are many areas we don't have a laboratory support, we don't have enough doctors, so clinical resources are also very less. So during that time, the syndrome approach or syndromic approach, which has been really focused in this IMNCA, it will really help out in such situations for more realistic way and for more cost effective way of managing the childhood illness and the neonatal illness. So let us see in the evidence-based practice how they have determined the things. So first one is health problems the child may have. So what are the various health problems the child may have? Then second one is regarding the severity of the child's condition. So what is the severity of the child's condition? How much the child is really suffering on. Next is the actions that can be taken to care for the child. So what all actions we should be able to take in order to take care of the child. So for example, what they have given is referring the child immediately to the higher sectors. So referral system we have studied. So whether the child is in a condition of referring the child from to the higher sectors and managing the available resources what they have, whether whether the child really needs intubation, whether so that whether the child should be transported immediately to the higher sectors or whether it can be managed at home. All these things they really strategically they have planned. So this is actually the main three determinants which they have tried in the evidence based syndromic approach under IMNCA, which are the health problems of the child, severity of the child condition, and the action which should be taken in order for the care of the children. The adjustment, next is the adjustment of interventions to the capacity and functions of the health system. So as per the health system condition, we should be able to adjust with the interventions. What are the planning, what care we can provide. Then active involvement of the family members and the community in the health care process. So that also we have already discussed how we can involve the family members and even in the community also, so that even if it is a minor problem also, they should not keep the child in the home. They have to take the child to the hospital. They have to really do the early diagnosis. So if the mother of the family member take the child, then only we can do the early diagnosis. So it is more important. The major highlights of Indian adaptation of this IMNCA are incorporation of neonatal care, as it now consist 2/3 of infant mortality. So if we check into the mortality rates, we can see that around 2/3 of the mortality, it is especially because of the neonatal problems. That's why we Indian government has really focused on adapting the neonatal and childhood illness under this umbrella of IMNCI. Then the involvement of 0 to 7 days, even the child who is born, that means the first week of the birth, that means 0 to 7 days, it has also been involved. Then incorporating national guidelines on malaria, anemia and vitamin A supplementation and immunization schedule. So they have incorporated all the national guidelines, like especially the malarial program, anti-malarial program, anemia prevention program, vitamin A supplementation and the immunization schedule. Everything has been incorporated under this IMNCA. Then training schedule has been reduced from 11 days to 8 days. So the staff nurse we have seen, they should be get training, then only they can actually prioritize the problem, or they can able to do the syndromic management. അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അവർക്ക് ട്രെയിനിങ് ലഭിക്കണം അല്ലേ. സോ ആ ട്രെയിനിങ് 11 ദിവസത്തെ ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ് ആയിരുന്നു. അത് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഗവൺമെൻറ് 8 ദിവസത്തെ ട്രെയിനിങ് ആയിട്ട് ചുരുക്കി. അവരുടെ ട്രെയിനിങ് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ കോമ്പാക്റ്റ് ആക്കി, സോ ദാറ്റ് മോർ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് പീപ്പിൾ ക്യാൻ ഗെറ്റ് ട്രെയിൻഡ് അണ്ടർ ദിസ് IMNCA ഷെഡ്യൂൾ. ദെൻ ട്രെയിനിങ് ബിഗിൻസ് വിത്ത് സിക്ക് യങ് ഇൻഫൻറ്റ് അപ് ടു 2 months. 2 മാസം പ്രായമുള്ള ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിൻ്റെ ട്രെയിനിങ് മുതൽ ഇതിൽ ഇൻവോൾവ് ആണ്. ദെൻ പ്രൊപ്പോർഷൻ ഓഫ് ട്രെയിനിങ് ടൈം ഡിവോട്ടഡ് ടു sick young infant and sick child is almost equal. So they have given even the time proportional also during the training. That means even a young infant or a young child, they all can be properly trained at equal time, so that the time can be saved, so that much more focus can be given to the various problems of neonate also. So the government has initiated implementation of the IMNCA strategy in 4 districts in each of this listed down states, which are the Orissa, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Delhi, Gujarat, Uttaranchal, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. In all these 9 states, minimum of 4 districts has been selected, which is backward in the terms of mortality and morbidity rate of children. So as per the IMR rate, infant mortality rate and infant morbidity rate, they have selected these states, and especially 4 districts from each state. Thus they have started the IMNCA things. So let us see the components of the integrated approach. So already we have told the component has been strategy has involved both the preventive aspect and the curative interventions in order to aim the improve practices in the health facilities, in the health system. At the core of the strategy is integrated a case management of the most common childhood problems with a focus on the most common causes of death. That's what I have told. Whichever cases are really leading to death, they have really focused on the management of such type of childhood problems. So the improvement of the case management skill of the health staff through the provision of local adapted guidelines. They have given the training for the staff nurse how to manage these situations under this IMNCA project, and improvements in the overall health system which requires for effective management of childhood illness. So how they can really effectively manage. Then improvement of the family and the community healthcare practices, the involvement of the family, the involvement of the community participation. These all things has been given more importance as the component aspect. So let us see the principles of the integrated care. So we were telling from long time they have been classified. So let us see how they have classified. What are the principles they follow behind the integrated care? The following principles are followed. The first one is all the sick young infant who is aged up to 2 months must be examined for the signs of possible serious bacterial infection. So 2 മാസം വരെ പ്രായമുള്ള എല്ലാ ഇൻഫൻസിനെയും അവർക്ക് ഏതെങ്കിലും രീതിയിലുള്ള ബാക്ടീരിയൽ ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടോ, അതിൻ്റെ പോസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആൻഡ് അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം ഓൾ ദ ചിൽഡ്രൻ ഫ്രം 2 months to 5 years, that means we can see that they have given much more importance for children those who are less than 2 months, and they have taken at a second segment of 2 months to 5 years. So in the K-Park, if you see very clearly, you can see that the division which they have given. So up to 2 months, then from 2 months to 5 years, they were examining for any general danger signs. കൊച്ചിനെ മരണത്തിലോട്ട് നയിക്കുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ഡേഞ്ചർ സൈൻ ആ കുട്ടികളിൽ ഉണ്ടോ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് മോർ ഫോക്കസ്ഡ് among 2 months to 5 years, which really indicate that there is an immediate need of an hospital or a referral system. So all the sick children must be routinely assessed for major symptoms, like especially diarrhea. So as we all know, diarrhea is one of the main cause of death, especially in the younger age. So 2 months and up to 5 months, they have been really looking for diarrhea. And for cough or breathing difficulty, as we all know, the airway obstruction is one of the next problem. So airway obstruction or difficulty in breathing or cough, this is also a bad sign then diarrhea, then fever, then ear problems. Because during that time, children will not be able to locate and tell that I am having ear pain inside the ear, I am having pain in this area, like that. They will not be able to focus. They will be just crying loudly. Then even I have told, if they have any bacterial infection also, they will simply cry and they will not feed properly. So there will be feeding problem. So any of the child who is taking less food, they are having feeding problem, or any of them are restless or crying, or those who are very lethargic, or they are totally sleeping and not at all active, such type of children should be especially given focus when you classify. They must also be routinely assessed for nutritional status, immunizational status, feeding problem, and even the other potential problem of like malnutrition, especially protein energy malnutrition, and a feeding problem, immunizational status. All these things also should be monitored regarding the children under this IMNCI. And only a limited number of carefully selected clinical signs are used based on evidence of their sensitivity and specificity to detect the various diseases. So all the things will not tell that they are having really something very big problem. So only we are going to highlight some of the main things ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദ എവിഡൻസ് ബേസ്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. ഇപ്പം നടക്കുന്ന റിസർച്ചുകളും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റിസർച്ച് ഔട്ട്കംസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എവിഡൻസ് ബേസ്ഡ് പ്രാക്ടീസ് അനുസരിച്ച് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് വാർണിംഗ് സൈൻസ്, അതിലൊരു ലിസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി അതിൽ നിന്നും ഹൈലൈറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറച്ച് സിംറ്റംസ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത്, ക്ലിനിക്കൽ സയൻസ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത്, വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ട്രീറ്റ് ഇൻ സച്ച് എ വേ. ദീസ് സൈൻസ് വെർ സെലക്റ്റഡ് കൺസിഡറിങ് ദ കണ്ടീഷൻസ് ആൻഡ് റിയാലിറ്റീസ് ഓഫ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ലെവൽ ഹെൽത്ത് facilities. Then by understanding the health facilities, we are realizing which should be given the priority, which should be referring case, which should be home care. All these things should be understood through that. A combination of individual signs leads to a child's classification rather than a diagnosis. This is what you have to remember always in IMNC. IMNCയിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരേ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് മെയിനായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ മറക്കാതിരിക്കേണ്ടത്. എന്താണത്? This is actually, they are not doing diagnosis. Rather, before diagnosis, they just classify the child's condition. It leads to a child's classification rather than a diagnosis. The classification indicate the severity of the condition. They call for specific actions based on whether the young infant or the child should be urgently referred to the next level, or whether they should get a specific treatment like antibacterial treatment or antibiotic treatment or anti-malarial treatment should be taken for the child, or whether the child can be safely managed at home. ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ 3 രീതിയിൽ കുട്ടികളുടെ രോഗങ്ങളെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുട്ടികളിൽ കാണപ്പെടുന്ന ഇൽനെസ്സിനെ വേർതിരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിലേത് കാറ്റഗറിയിലാണ് എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ചൈൽഡ് ക്ലാസിഫിക്കേഷനാണ് IMNCIയിൽ മെയിനായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത്. ദ ക്ലാസിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ആർ based on these color codings. So first one is pink color. So pink means it is actually that particular condition really needs admission in the hospital or the further referral system as per the health services available. Yellow, it indicates the initiation of treatment. They have to start the treatment. The child should not be taken care only in the home. They should get a proper treatment. Then green means it really tells that the baby can be managed under the home treatment. So proper health education will be given to the mother or the caretaker of the child, so they can be managed at home. So this is how the color coding stands in the IMNCA. So the IMNCA guidelines, it addresses the most but not all of the major reasons a sick child is brought to a clinic. Even though they are not managing all the things, but the maximum things has been brought under the umbrella of IMNCA. The child returning with chronic problems or less common illness may require special care. The guidelines do not describe the care at birth and the management of trauma or other acute emergencies due to accidents. So you have to remember that ജന്മനാ ഉള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും birth defect, so the care at birth, what means that skin care, അവരുടെ എയർവേ ക്ലിയറൻസ്, ഇതൊന്നും IMNCയുടെ ഭാഗമല്ല. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ട്രോമ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ്, കൊച്ചിൻ്റെ കൈ ഒടിയുക, കൊച്ചിനൊരു ആക്സിഡൻറ്റ് പറ്റി, വീട്ടിൽ ഷോക്ക് അടിച്ചു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുട്ടി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു വിഷാംശമുള്ള സാധനം ഉള്ളിൽ ചെന്നു കുട്ടിക്ക്. സോ ദീസ് ഓൾ ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് അക്യൂട്ട് എമർജൻസി ആക്സിഡൻറ്റ് കേസസ്, ഇഞ്ചുറി കേസസ് ഓർ ദ കെയർ അറ്റ് ബർത്ത്, ദീസ് ആർ നോട്ട് അറ്റ് ഓൾ എ പാർട്ട്. ദേ ആർ നോട്ട്. സോ ദ ഗൈഡ് ലൈൻസ് ഡു നോട്ട് ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് ദീസ് തിങ്സ്. ഇതൊന്നും കൂടാതെ 2 മാസം വരെയുള്ളൊരു കുട്ടിക്കും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ 5 വയസ്സിൽ താഴെയുള്ളൊരു കുട്ടിക്കും വരുന്ന കോമൺ ഇൽനെസ്, that case management is getting focused under this IMNCA. So IMNCA management procedures use a limited number of essential drugs, and they really encourage active participation of caretaker in the treatment of children. So they really manage the procedures, they use a limited number of essential drugs, because we all know that growth and development stage the child is, so unnecessary use of drugs should be avoided. So only the essential drugs, and really the caretaker or the mother or the caretaker should be actively participated in the treatment of the child, so that the development also will be proper without any fear of treatment will happen during the treatment line. An essential component of the IMNCI guidelines is the counseling of the caretaker about the home care, including counseling about how to feed the child during the illness, what amount of fluid should be given to the child during the illness, when to return for the follow-up care. These all things should be health educated towards the കെയർ ടേക്കർ. കുട്ടിയുടെ അമ്മ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അച്ഛൻ ആരാണോ കുട്ടിയെ ടേക്ക് കെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അവർ ആ കുട്ടിയെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഡിസ്ചാർജിന് ശേഷം വീട്ടിൽ എങ്ങനെ ഹോം കെയർ കൊടുക്കണം. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ കൗൺസിലിംഗ് ഷുഡ് ബി ഗിവൺ റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദ ഫീഡിങ് ആസ്പെക്റ്റ്, റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദ ഈസി ഡൈജസ്റ്റബിൾ ഫുഡ്, വീനിങ് ഫുഡ്, ഡയറ്റ്, all these things, how much of amount of fluid they should take, and when they have to come back to the hospital for follow-up. All these things should be educated. So this is all about the IMNCI. So this is all very clearly given in the KPARC also, in the tabular column form. Even in the diagrammatic representation they have very clearly given in KPARC textbook. Let us see the last part, the case management process. So already we have seen the major thing. The case management process is presented on the series of charts which shows the sequence of steps and proper information for performing them. The charts describe the following steps. So you can follow the chart which is given in the KPARC textbook. They really assess the child or the young infant. They classify the illness. They identify the treatment for that. They treat the child at the proper time. They counsel the mother, health education, and when they should come for the follow-up. All this aspect, these all are the various case management process which you can see under the IMNCA. So this is all about the IMNCI program. So with this particular unit is getting finished. So this IMNCI has been started in 2003. So under the National Health Mission, Government of India has implemented. So this all has happened under NHM, National Health Mission. So government has implemented the IMNCI, Integrated Management for Neonatal and Childhood Illness Strategy, in the year 2003 for integrated and standard management for major illnesses of childhood like pneumonia. That's why we have told that breathing difficulty, all the cough problems, all these things, then diarrhea, malnutrition, measles, and even malaria in outreach settings. So this is all what they emphasize in IMNCI. It has started in 2003 under the NHM program. So when we look into the various milestones, this is for your general information I am telling. When we look into the general milestones in child survival programs in India, ഇന്ത്യയിലുള്ള ചൈൽഡ് സർവൈവൽ പ്രോഗ്രാംസിൻ്റെ ഒരു മൈൽസ്റ്റോൺസ് നമ്മൾ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. 1992 ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് മൈൽ സ്റ്റോൺ, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് CSSM, ചൈൽഡ് സർവൈവൽ ആൻഡ് സേഫ് മദർഹുഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാം. ദെൻ ബൈ 1997 റിപ്രൊഡക്റ്റീവ് ആൻഡ് ചൈൽഡ് ഹെൽത്ത് phase 1. Then by 2005 phase 2 of RCH. Then 2005 National Rural Health Mission, and later by 2013 it has been named as National Health Mission. NRHM എന്നുള്ള പേര് മാറ്റിയിട്ട് നാഷണൽ ഹെൽത്ത് മിഷനായി, ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഹാസ് ബീൻ രണ്ട് കമ്പോണൻറ്റ് വന്നു അതിൻ്റെ അടിയിൽ. ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? നാഷണൽ റൂറൽ ഹെൽത്ത് മിഷനും നാഷണൽ അർബൻ ഹെൽത്ത് മിഷനും, NRHM and NUHM. Then by 2013 they have started RMNCH+A strategy. What is that? Can anyone try to recall at least? R for reproductive health, M for maternity, N for neonatal, C for childhood, then health. So reproductive, maternal, neonatal, childhood, health, plus A means adolescent health. So adolescent strategy also has been added along with RMNCH by 2013. So from 2013 onwards they used to really emphasize even the adolescent. They are also not out of the childhood period, so they are also a child category because they have not at all entered in adult stage. So adolescent health is also given more importance by 2013. And by 2014 INAP, that is Indian Newborn Action Plan. These all are the various milestones which we can see for the child survival programs in India. So you all have to remember these various dates. It will really help you out for your community exam. Community is not like other subjects. There is not much you have to by heart or anything. Only you have to by heart is the name of the health agencies, health programs, even the 5-year plans this years. All the other things is, as a community health nurse, what is your responsibility in the community. So it is an overall, it's a team approach. It's a fact of a nurse. She has to be a community health nurse also. So these all dates you have to try to remember. It will really help you in the Viva voice also. It will really help you to interconnect the various programs. Even it will really help you to participate in the competitive exams or the government test in your further future also. So this is all about then this is what which I have told about the RMNCH, reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent health strategy, which has been launched in 2013. So in this particular unit, that means it was a very lengthy unit, around 20 hours we have covered under this various national health programs. So we have not explained, or we have omitted these things under this particular unit, because it has been already taken by me under other units which has been already covered. So it is now your responsibility to open up the textbook and again revise. So you can really imagine how much is the importance of this topic, these 4 topics, that is National Family Welfare Program, that means which comes under like MCH, maternal and child health, reproductive and child health phase 1 and phase 2, National Health Mission, നാഷണൽ റൂറൽ ഹെൽത്ത് മിഷൻ ആൻഡ് അർബൻ ഹെൽത്ത് മിഷൻ, ദെൻ നാഷണൽ ഹെൽത്ത് പോളിസീസ്. ഈ ടോപ്പിക്കുകൾ റിപ്പീറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് ഇതിന് മുന്നേ നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ച യൂണിറ്റുകളിലും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഈ യൂണിറ്റിലും അണ്ടർ നാഷണൽ ഹെൽത്ത് പ്രോഗ്രാം ദേ ഹാവ് റിപ്പീറ്റഡ്ലി ടോൾഡ് ദിസ്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് റിയലി യു ക്യാൻ ഹൈലൈറ്റ് ദ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ്. സോ നൗ ടുഡേ യു ഓൾ, ആഫ്റ്റർ മൈ ലെക്ചർ, I really trust you people. See, I have never seen you all by face to face. Let us pray to God that let God give us a chance to have a face-to-face interaction very soon. So I am just trusting you people online. So you don't break my trust factor. So I believe that after my today's lecture, you all will open the textbook and you all have to read these topics. Which are they? You have to read IMNCI. It is very, very important. You have to read NRHM. Not only NRHM, NHM, National, now it is known as NHM, National Health Mission, which includes National Urban, National Rural Health Mission and Urban Health Mission. You will read that. Then you will read National Family Welfare Program, that is the RCH phase 1 and phase 2 and the MCH services also, and national health policies, which we have studied in all the last units. So this is all very, very important. So you all will be reading this in KPARK textbook. This unit was very, very important. Minimum you will be getting 10 to 15 marks. Minimum I hope 20 marks of your final exam will be covered from this particular unit, because it's a very lengthy unit of 20 hours. So that much of weightage will be given in the marks also in the final exam. So you all will be reading all these topics today only in the KPARK textbook, and from the coming class onwards we will be entering into the last unit of our community health nursing. So only one more unit is left out in this particular curriculum. So we are entering into the last unit of our theory block from the next class onwards. So I hope I am doing my part to the best through these online classes. I expect you all also to read KPARK textbook and underline all the important things of these particular things. So today you will be reading all these topics along with IMNCI. Thank you all students. Meet you all in the next class with a new unit, which is the last unit of our community health nursing.